Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do something Indian and vegetarian. I'm going to show you how to make Chole Masala, or chickpea curry, and garlic naans. So before we start, a shout out to Terry, who made a really good donation on PayPal recently, which is much appreciated. Thank you, Terry. The reason I'm doing these recipes is because a few weeks ago I was working away editing a video or something, and there was a clunk on the doormat. It was postman time. Now, I wasn't expecting anything, so I thought maybe Mrs. KeefCooks had ordered yet another book to add to our extensive and endlessly growing library. But no, I opened the package and it was this lovely book by the curry guy, Dan Toombs. And this one's full of vegetarian recipes, and Indian vegetarian food is just the best, I think. So I'm kind of working my way through this, and I've done quite a few of them already, and they're really good recipes. Let's have a go at a couple that I haven't tried yet. Chickpea curry. He reckons 15 minutes prep time, 15 minutes cook time. We'll see about that. And the garlic naan's also pretty quick for a bread-based thing. 25 minutes prep, plus resting time, and 35 minutes cooking time. Not so sure about that. Anyway, we'll see. So, if you enjoy this video, give it a like, share it, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get notifications, and let's get on with it. Okay, I'm going to start the naans first because they'll take longest with proving time. So I've got 300 grams of plain all-purpose flour, half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of active dried yeast, half teaspoon of baking powder, a tablespoon of sugar, and a cup of warm water. So we just need to mix the dry ingredients together first. Not a tablespoon of baking powder. A tablespoon of sugar. I'll just stir those together, get them all evenly distributed. Make a well in the middle and add about half the water. And work that in. And we'll add the rest. So we get a nice ball of dough, and now we need to knead it for about 5 minutes. So just tip it out onto the floured worktop. Dan doesn't give any specific instructions on how to knead it, so I'm just doing what I usually do, which is roll it into thirds, turn it through 90 degrees, stretch it, fold it, turn it, stretch it, etc. So it's sticky as a sticky thing, but don't be tempted to add any flour or oil, because Dan says so. So there we go. We'll pop that in a bowl and cover that with plastic film and leave it in a warm place for about an hour, well, until it's doubled in volume. Ingredients to make the chickpea curry. I've got a bunch of dry spices. There's a 2-inch 5cm stick of cinnamon. There's 4 green cardamom pods which have been crushed a little bit, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and a half teaspoon of ajwain, which are carom seeds, and 2 small red onions. And then I've got some ground spices. There's 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 of ground coriander, 1 of chili powder, and a half of turmeric. There's 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, 4 tablespoons of rapeseed oil, that's canola oil, a can of chickpeas, garbanzo beans, and a can of tomatoes. In Dan's actual recipe, he uses a lot more chickpeas and less tomato, but I want it a bit more saucy than his, I think. And to garnish, you want a half teaspoon of garam masala, optionally a finely sliced green chilli, and some fresh coriander, cilantro. One bit of prep before we start cooking. I want to peel and finely chop the red onions. So we need to heat the oil in a wok or a frying pan over medium-high heat. And then when it's hot, we stir in the whole spices and just swizz them around for about 30 seconds to temper them. Then we add the chopped onions and fry them for about 5 minutes till they're lightly browned and softened. Now we add the ginger and garlic paste and let that sizzle for a bit. And then add all the ground spices. And the tomatoes. And stir that up and then add the chickpeas, which I've drained. And after that's been simmering for about 5 minutes, give it a taste and add salt if you think it needs it. And that's it. It's really simple once you've accumulated all the ingredients. Right, here's my dough risen. So now I need to give it a second rise, so, you know, basically knock it back. I'll just, oh, look at that. Still sticky. In Dan's recipe he says it will make 6 large ones. I've only done half quantity, and I don't know if I want large ones. I don't know exactly how large is, so I'm going to cut this into 4. Just roll it into a ball. And you want a high-sided tray for this. I don't actually have such a thing, so I'm using a roasting tin, and I'll need to use another one, I think. And I reckon the reason for that is so that your clean tea towel doesn't stick to your dough. So we pop that in one place again to rise for an hour again. Okay, Naan's had an hour, so now we need to cook them. You want flour on your worktop again. I've got a heavy bottom pan, heating up really hot. Flatten this out into a kind of naan shape, which is traditionally like a teardrop, because what you would do in a tandoor is stick it to the sides and it would kind of dangle down and spread out. Let's see how the pan's doing. Right, it's 150 something. I don't know if it's going to go much hotter than that, but I'm getting fed up of waiting, so I'm going to chuck it in, see what happens. We need to moisten one side of the dough. That's just cold water. You want to slap it down hard, apparently. Don't know how. Missed. Woo! That's the first pancake. I know it's not a pancake, but your first pancake is always a disaster, so not too worried about that. Okay, I think I had it too hot and the dough was too thick, so basically it's starting to puff up now, but I think the bottom face is incinerated. But according to Dan, what you do is turn it upside down and it's stuck to the pan, and the flame will blacken or darken the bubbles on the top. Oh, this pan's too heavy for this. Right, I'm giving up on that. Yeah, well, you know, I wouldn't eat that. Right, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to use my good old cast iron griddle pan, and I'm going to turn it over halfway through, because, yeah, because I am. And also I'm going to roll it out flatter with the rolling pin, which needs a bit of flour on it. Okay, let's try that. Crikey, that's 288 degrees. Put the extractor on. It's starting to bubble quite nicely there, so I'm going to turn it over. And I'll just wrap it in foil to keep it warm while I make the garlic butter. For the garlic butter, we need butter or ghee, if you have any. Quite a big chunk. I'll just pop that on the stove and melt it. And you want 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. That needs to be crushed, minced, finely chopped, whatever. Actually, I'll save that till the butter's melted and do it straight into the pan. And you want a generous amount of coriander, cilantro. That much. That needs to be finely chopped as well. Butter's melted, so we'll pop the coriander in there. And the garlic. Yeah. Mix it all together and then we can paint it on the naan with pastry brush. So let's put it all together. That was a song, wasn't it? Let's put it on. No. Just a few finely chopped bits of green chilli and a sprinkling of garam masala on the curry if you can manage it. And the naan. Ooh. Okay, it's taste test time with Mrs. KeefCooks. Hello.
Hi guys. Oh, I say, what have you got there?
Chili willies.
Really? But what's that?
It's me naan.
I remember your Naan, she didn't look like that. It looks like it's come off the seabed. It should be able to...
like a crab or something.
No, I was thinking more of a sort of a slightly blobby jellyfish. That's a heck of a Naan. Is that going to be yogurt?
This is yogurt sauce, page 9 of Dan's book.
Yeah, I'm addicted to this stuff.
My naan.
Naan slaughter. You evil, wicked man. Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right then.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nom nom nom.
Mhm. Lean in.
I've got plenty on.
Slobber chops. That yogurt sauce is marvellous. I don't think I've got any of the chickpeas there. Yeah, we've been eating out of Dan's book this week with great enthusiasm. But he just keeps been making chat, and a bit too strong for my taste. But with the yogurt sauce, it's just each to his own. Yeah, marvellous. Curry's nice. Go get your pinny on. Don't be swearing at people. Oh, what's that?
Don't eat that.
Don't eat that.
That's the cinnamon stick.
Oh, right. I thought maybe it was a chicken bone in this. I thought it was a cheat in your veggie curry.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I like meaty curries, but I do. I really do. But
This is great.
it is. All about the flavour.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Oh, I really like that.